Y'all did an awesome job, man. But one thing I'm going to tell you, a lot of people can't make it in entertainment. There's only one person going to make it. A lot of people can't be a star, because you know what? There's so many distractions that happens. I mean, you got your family, you got, you know, the change in the movie set. When I told you I got that part with Cynthia Rothrock, my first part was to fight Cynthia Rothrock as a villain in a movie. I was at a business seminar. I had to choose business seminar, get on the plane and go back and do film. I chose business seminar. Do I regret it? No, I don't, because I got a chance to find a way to make it manifest another way. But you got to have different, when you go and apply for a movie, you go out for a movie part, that resume better say I can break dance, I can rap, I can ride a horse, I can ride a camel, I can ride a bicycle. Anything that you have ever done in your life, you better put on that resume. Because you know what? They might say, they might be on set, they might say, can anybody break dance? Well, if you know how to spin on your back, okay, break dance. You better figure it out. And then if they see that you got the potential to at least build on, you got to be able to do that. Everybody you got to get your foot in the door. And you got to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm going to do that's going to make a lasting impression on this person so I can keep on being asked to come back to work. Everybody want to work with somebody that's easy, somebody that picks up, and somebody that can create, somebody that can adapt. They don't want to work with somebody that's egotistical and somebody just want to question and analyze and whatever. And the other thing I say to you, you want to be hungry. I don't care, whatever you do, you want to be hungry. There's a lot of people that, you know, they come to the door, they watch, they do this, they do that. But for some reason, and they came to a point where they think, I got it, I don't need to do nothing else. I'm good, I don't need to do nothing else. You know what? Any industry changes and changes and change. At some point in time, whatever you're doing, let's say be it, if you guys compete, you're doing forms, well, your content got to be like a performance. If you're a fighter, your fighting got to be like a performance. UFC fighters realize they got to be entertainers. Do you think they want to fight for the rest of their life, or do they want to find an exit out? You're applying for college. Well, you got to be exciting. You got to be enthusiastic. You got to be motivational. You got to make people listen and pay attention. From the way you walk in the door, everything that you do, the way your resume is set up, everything that you do, you got to realize at this point in time, you are a brand. You are a brand. And however you carry yourself, however you talk, whatever you do, got to represent that brand, and you can't be afraid. You cannot be afraid. You got to be willing to. You got to be willing to go out. And when I say that to you, I say it because I used to be a competitor, and I did all that, and I was so afraid of doing X, Y, and Z. When I was on the WMAC Masters, that was probably my most humiliating time ever. You know why? Because I was too humble, and I was afraid to do certain things. So I didn't say anything. So a lot of times I got kicked back to the side because I wouldn't speak up. I just went along. You know, I just didn't really get into it. You got to hustle, man. You got to study. Getting in is not enough. You got to be willing to put everything out there on the line. You, like Mr. Marco said before, it might be a guy that he might be more of a stunt fighter than a real martial artist. Learn from him. Suck it up. Figure out what you can do to really get that part, man. But I tell you, if whatever you do represents a brand and integrity, then guess what? In the end, you're going to win. Because even though I said that experience with WMAC Masters was probably my worst, but still right now with the call to action, I got Isaac Florentine that worked with me. I got the guy that discovered Jean-Claude Van Damme, Keith Steinberg, working with us. We got some of the major producers behind us right now trying to be a part of what we do, because nobody has any competition like that, because I want to see how can we make it better for you guys. Anybody that want to go into films, what can I do? What can I do to make it better for you? So we got our resume, right?
Yes, sir.
We got a photo, right?
Yes, sir.
You got a portfolio?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a video reel?
I have clips, no reel, yes, sir.
Okay. How many people got that? Anything you want to do, even if you're applying to college. Imagine if you was a little kid. You had a resume. You had a professional photo shot. You had a portfolio. You know what a portfolio is? It's a leather book. It has anything that ever been written about you. Be it newsletter, you know, be it a family something. It don't matter. Be whatever been written about you. And you put it in that little binder professionally. I learned that from my teachers. They always had a portfolio. So this is what I do. Because I've been in so many magazines, and to me, whenever somebody asks you, so tell me about yourself, I don't want to tell you about myself. Because how many people, what do you think happens when they ask everybody that got talent to tell them about themselves? Somebody tell me what you think happens.
Talk about how great they are. Yeah.
That's it. They just go on and on and on. But think about this. If you ask me, if you say, tell me about yourself, I say, well, sir, I have a portfolio right here, and I have a sizzle reel, so if you would like to look through that, that would tell you a little bit more about me, sir. So I do that. And when you look through my portfolio and you start seeing these covers and seeing this and see that, before you get to the, you're like, nah, man, okay, I don't need to see no more. So you the man. Let's go ahead, let's figure out what we can do to move forward. You don't ever want to brag about yourself, because everybody bragging about how great they are. Let them begin to do the research. But if you put your best stuff forward first, they didn't want to go through the rest of it. So that's your great introduction, your resume, your portfolio, and your sizzle reel. And your professionalism on how you dress and how you talk and how you move when you walk through there. Yes. It's like just a little 3-minute, maybe a 30-second sizzle reel. You know, just your best highlights. And I'm going to say this to you. If you don't have the money to put it together yourself. Okay? You got to, once again, you got to work like you really want it. You got to hustle. You got to grit it out. So when an opportunity comes, come on, everything. I'm here talking to you guys because I grit everything out. I did everything. I mean, when I used to do content, Miss Kimber.
Yes, sir.
How I used to make my music when I first used to compete back in the day. Listen to it.
Cue cassette players, click, 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 listen to it. All right, do your moves. We had a little, like, jumped up box thingy in our apartment. He's like, all right, do your first 3 moves. He'll watch them. And then we mix something with click, 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 click. Record, play, put a different tape in, record, play, yeah.
So everything was custom. You know, I realized that I like hip hop, but imagine me performing to hip hop with Hawaii 5-0. So guess what? The old people understand Hawaii 5-0, so if I get you with Hawaii 5-0 or Beethoven, I can go into NWA. Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, because you only remember what? Hawaii 5-0. All the other stuff. That's how you got to use, how do you express yourself? So now, everything that I do represents that. It represents who I am. So that's the best thing that you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out how can you express yourself. Articles, okay? Every article that ever been written about me, guess who wrote it? Me. Yeah, that's funny. But guess what? If you don't become your best marketing person, who's going to do it for you? You feel me? So when I begin to write about myself and let other people put their names on it, then one day when they come and they start writing about me one time, they probably write about you 1 or 2 times, but who's going to keep on writing about you? You. Find reasons, find concepts, find things. All you're doing is taking your own innovation and adding a new approach to something. You got to keep yourself out there, man. You got to write about yourself. You know, when it's time to take photos. I can show you articles and things. Any article I've been in, half the photos were took by me. I get a friend like, all right, let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. I wanted to be famous at first, until I realized that fame and wealth are 2 separate things. I'm going to say it to you again. At first I wanted to be famous, but then I realized there's a lot of broke famous people. Okay? So I had to understand the separation of that. So these things that I'm talking to you about is about wealth. Okay, so when I stopped competing and I was on WMAC Masters, with the thing that saved me when that show was gone, I had a karate school. I was able to ease back into my karate school while that went down. But then while the karate school was going, I had to figure out how do I keep my name out there. So I developed a competition team. So while the competition team was going, then I realized, okay, but I got a little bit more to offer. So let me contact some of these other companies and do instructional videotapes so I can get paid from that. It's called residual income. So I do that. Okay, before you know it, you so much out there, then a book publishing company comes and say, hey, let me do a book on you. So you got all these little things in the fire that's going on. So guess what? Even if one thing falls off, then something else coming in. That's what you got to build. That's what a brand is all about. So I'm saying to you guys, never, and I say this wholeheartedly, never get to a point where you think you don't need to study. Never get to a point where you think you know. That, for example, that young lady, every time she comes in or come to class, I always tell her about a new book, right?
Yes, sir.
She like today, she's like, oh, I'm not fast enough. Hold on, let me pull it out, Professor. Because the greatest thing you can do is keep up with what's hot. Keep up with what's going on. You got to keep up. If not, you're going to be left behind. So that's the whole art of branding. What I just showed you tonight, take it, package it, continue to practice it over and over. Continue to try to figure out what can you do to put together your own fight sets. Put together your own things. If you, I see from you coming to that one thing and coming to this thing, how serious you are. But if you ever come to anything and it's only you, don't lose focus. If you go to a tournament to do a kata and you're the only competitor, keep showing up. Because I train so hard and I work so hard, and for some reason, sometimes when I go in and do something, you expect these big things to happen. You expect all these people to be there. But that's not the case. If you're doing your part, the Creator works strange. The year that I wanted to be #1 on NASCAR, the guy that was now #1 since I was gone for a while, I could never beat him. I know it sounds crazy. So he broke his leg on Power Rangers. Guess what happened? It gave me opportunity to win then. All I needed was that opportunity for people to see me. I could say, nah, man, that wasn't right. His leg was broke. No! The Creator let his leg be broke, gave me a chance to come in, so when he came back, guess what happened? We were now looked as equals. I just needed a big break. Now I was able to grow. And because of those I was there when he fell off. All my career, I never realized why I couldn't win. I was inconsistent. So when there wasn't a lot of people, I'm like, nah, I ain't going to that tournament, man. Ain't nobody to compete against. But dummy, it don't matter. If you did your part, keep showing up. Because it's not about how much talent you have. That helps. But it's being at the right place at the right time. And you never know what's going to happen. And you got to be prepared for it. Questions? Talk to me. Give me some feedback. Or any questions you might have. Come on. Or what's takeaways? Yes.
As far as finally getting onto the camera, easiest way to get your guild cards is just showing up, resumes, coffee, here you go, sir, here you go, sir. Any other method besides that? Some tricks and tips to get on.
Mm-hmm. And you got to be, that's called being a people's person.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to be able to be polite. You got to be respectful. Even from talking to you, I can see your character. And I see, look, I talk to you, it's obvious that you want something because you could have walked away and you stayed here. And you were. And I know it kicked your little butt, but you're still here, right? Right? But the thing that you don't ever want to tell somebody that can give you opportunity, never be negative. You want to be enthusiastic. They call it fake it till you make it. Even if you don't know, just keep quiet. Say, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't understand you, but I'm willing to learn, sir. Whatever you ask me to do, yes, sir. And always say, sir. Always be separate. The thing that I said that while all those people work with me, because in the end, I was the person that remained loyal, committed, and I had good character. So now I can get along with those people. I can carry a conversation with them. Okay, next, who is that? Who else? Yes.
What I take from it is just if you're trying to get into music, you gotta really work your butt off. You gotta make sure you're prepared for anything. Like you never know, you might be in your house and you might have thought you were doing something, but then somebody like a film or something or knock on your door. You gotta be ready for anything.
And as he said, being ready for anything, what time do I get up every day? Say it again? 3 o'clock. You know why? Because I have to reach my goals. There's something I want. I don't want to ever be working for somebody else. I want my own production company. I do every tape that I sell, I wrote the script myself. Everything. I will never get caught where you can fire me and I'll be gone. I'm going to always find a way to hustle and keep on moving. And when you begin to read and you think about people, think about a Will Smith. Will Smith got his own production company. He's an actor, he's a producer, he's a director. Think of some of the, come on, Julia Roberts. Think of some of those people. They might not be in front of the camera right now, but look at the credits. They're now behind the scenes. Think about it. Remember something. Didn't nobody write Rocky for Sylvester Stallone? It's like the new book called Damon John called Broke. Sylvester Stallone was so broke that he dug deep down inside his soul and wrote a movie that made him feel like a hero around one of his heroes, which was called Rocky. That movie saved his career. If you study him, when he became so popular after doing all these action films, he's getting paid $20 million a film. Once he started getting paid $20 million a film and started going outside of that one role, nobody was giving him parts anymore. So he cut his pay in half and went back to doing what? Rambo. Went back to doing other Rockies. And then he had to reinvent himself with what? Expendables. He studied the industry. He realized that no young person can fill the shoes of old school action heroes. So he went back, like the Wild Bunch. He went and got a bunch of wild old action heroes. Now he created what? A whole new brand. Then he got somebody else to go and do what? Apollo Creed. The man is eating. If you want to do anything in life, you got to figure out how are you going to keep on adding to and keep on eating. Don't just think about being an actor in front of the screen.
Okay.
Anybody got talent can just go. They can fire you anytime. You know what I'm saying? You got to always be connected to some element to figure out how you're going to keep on eating. And I say this, anybody ever heard of Master P?
A little bit.
What's the greatest story about Master P?
Okay.
Anybody know?
From there.
Now there's one story that made Master P. One story that made Master P. Well, here's what Master P did. Master P was a rapper. He wanted to do films. So he took a camcorder. He went around and filmed a hood film called I'm About It. The movie went on to become one of the greatest films ever made by Black Star Films, and he revolutionized the whole film industry. When you see what people with camcorders, look it up on the internet. It was called I'm About It. He created and revolutionized the whole film industry. It was just a camcorder, people in the neighborhood. He said, yo, just act like a drug addict. Act like this. It revolutionized everything. It changed the whole game. He showed you that you didn't have to have a big production company. All you had to do, he made a film, put it in a package, and sold out the trunk of his car. And from that, the rest was history. So what are you willing to do if somebody else don't come and ring your doorbell? What do you got in your little trunk that you sitting on? Do you have something? Do you have an idea or a concept that can lead to something and give you that big breakthrough and keep you working? If you're not, you're going to be a broke actor. And I have nothing bad to say about any people, but there's a lot of people sitting here, you know, they might be around you right now. They might sell their autographs for $50. Why? Because they gotta make rent. You don't want to live like that, man. You want to create a level of wealth. Everything should be building. Any other questions? Are we good? All right, go ahead and take a break. We good? Sir. I think Mr. Meach is supposed to be coming, and we'll see if he's coming in.